It was my second day of teaching the third grade, and I will never forget this day. It was an exciting time in my life. I had just graduated from college, and I had plans with my love, Nicholas, for our future. It was August 21st, 2007, and I remember I woke up and my heart started racing because I was late for work. And Nick grabbed me and said, "Please, just relax. Don't worry. It's going to be okay. The last thing I want you to do is rush out of the house and something happened to you." That day, for some reason in my stomach, I felt this homesick feeling. There was something wrong. Like I needed to stay with Nick, and I felt like I missed him and I was with him. So I didn't listen to that. I went to school anyways. Later that night, we were supposed to go to babysit for a family friend, and Nick was gonna ride his motorcycle to meet me, and I was gonna drive my car. And I got there, he was always on time, and that day, I just had this weird feeling in my chest. My heart started pumping, and I started to look at the time and realize that he was not coming. I called him, and he didn't pick up. And I called again, still no answer. And finally, the last time I had called, a state trooper picked up. And I begged him and asked him, what's going on? Tell me what's happening. Finally, after going back and forth, he told me that he didn't make it. I wanted to really pray him back to life. I didn't believe that he passed away. And it was just one of those moments where everything flashed before my eyes. I started to think of all the memories that we had together, how we were supposed to, have a life together, get married, and it just all unfolded before me, and I realized that that wasn't going to happen. So the next day, I woke up, and at the foot of my bed, I saw Nick, and he wore the same black hat that he always wore. And usually he'd have this big smile on his face, but this time I noticed his big blue eyes staring at me. And as he was looking at me, I wanted to hold on to that moment, and I blinked, and he was gone. That wasn't the last time that I had a visitation from his soul. There was a few times after that, but one sticks out really clearly to me. I saw him, and he said, "You're not going to see me for a while, but I'm still going to be around you." And I started to pay attention to his signs. Anything from finding hearts in puddles to hearing a song on the radio that was turned up when the volume wasn't even touched. I started to pay attention to the signs around me and allowed him to write through me when I was journaling. We were communicating every day. After receiving all of these signs, I asked Nick, okay, if this is really real and I'm not completely crazy, then send someone to confirm these signs to me. Send me someone that can communicate with the other side, communicate with you. And that's exactly what happened. I got a phone call soon after from a friend of mine who's a complete skeptic with the spiritual stuff. And he had went out for a client meeting, and the client was telling him things about Nick and me that nobody would ever know. And he started to communicate with Nick, and my friend told me about it. And I knew I had to talk to this man. The man's name was Jason. And Jason and I met up regularly where he would communicate with Nick to me, and we've been friends ever since. Throughout that year, I started a motorcycle foundation, and I was really excited about it, and then my focus started to shift and to really focus fully on spiritual stuff. So any book that I could get my hands on that dealt with spirituality or near-death experiences, connecting with the other side, I read it. I kept praying that I'd be able to help other people because I knew what it felt like to be in that deep grief, and I wanted to give them messages like I had received from Nick, and that's exactly what happened. I started to uncover the gift that I've had, and I realized that I had it all along. Being Catholic, I was drawn to the Blessed Mother and angels and saints, and I realized later that my great-great-grandma from Italy had the gift too. After years of self-reflection, travel, and checking things off my bucket list, Nick sent me Tony. Tony and Nick had been childhood friends, and we had never met in our entire lives. But the moment we did speak, we knew we had to be together forever. What I want people to know is our loved ones never die. They just change their way of communicating. They are not limited by the human body anymore. They live through us and guide us every day of our lives. They are bonded with love and will always be a part of our journey.
By the authority invested in me, I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may
After giving free readings to people for years, it was time to follow my heart and start my business. I now travel and speak, relaying messages from the other side. I also give psychic and mediumship readings to people around the world, and I teach people how to unlock their own intuition and their own mediumship.